to want to learn about investing, but the thing is, we are also fearful. And um, this is a moment that I want to take some time to really really get into the topic is of like, as a Canadian investor, we are so trained to invest in Canada. We're so trained to invest in a home, and my journeys go back to 2006 when I first started in investing in home, investing in single family, investing in duplex. And I do this with with my group of investors. One thing I find is actually all the great investors, and you find all the great investors in the world, they invest in multifamily, of course, and they also invest in the different market. And they invest in US, they invest in Asia, and I have the opportunity to do investing in Asia and in Canada and US. And but one thing that is always predominantly on, you can say that is always happening is people are so fearful. People are so fearful. When you talk about investors, there's always in the mind of, how can I tackle this obstacle investing from Canada into investing in US. And I don't know whoever's joining a call on live, on Zoom, on Facebook. I don't know how many of you guys are Canadians. You can make a mental note. How many of you guys are US citizens or investors? I have seen, I have partners, and I have continued to see Canadians really don't know how to do this. So I have been always telling people, there's a system to be in place if you want to do this in US, and that's a system that I learned it from other Canadian and US investors. But one thing, biggest thing that I challenge, I see people keep coming to the meetups, keep coming to the Zoom call, and all this information is great. All this information is very useful, but if you're not doing it, that's something that is hindering your. That is whether that is you have some obstacle in your mind, or you think for some reason you have all the informations and you have all the resources and you're not taking actions. And that's why, so today's call is about fear. Today's call is about fear and how do some people able to, tackle the fear, or, really bring down to how do you, like, if I give you a system in front of you, and if some people are using the same system, able to achieve result. Some people using the same system in front of them, whether you have a system or not. So this is kind of a little bit backwards. So let's say that you have the system. Let's say you have the tools, and let's say I'm Canadian, you're Canadian, so many other investors are Canadians, and they are able to do this. So I guess come down to one thing is, how do you talk to yourself? How do you really have the internal dialogue? And today, I want to talk about that. So a little bit of myself. I have been investing in real estate since 2006. I've been investing in Canada, US, and in Hong Kong, and in China. So I started US investing in 2012, and investing in multifamily since 2015. Really did something in 2018, and have been able to build a successful business, multifamily business, and educational business online ever since. So I've been sharing on multiple events, online, multiple events offline, have talked to over 2,000 people on my audience. So this is my 15th event of this year. But one thing that I like to spread out for you, this will work for people who believe that it will work. But it is not for everyone, in the sense that it is not for people. Like, for example, if you're looking at Canadian market, it's really hard to cash flow in Canada. So if you're looking at Canadian deals, it's going to be really tough. And it's for, if you're looking at, I know other Canadians who has been doing this, but if you're looking at this format, if you're looking at this formula of raising capital, and because you need to give a certain percentage of capital a return to investors, using this particular formula and doing it with no, so one of the things is you don't have capital and you need to raise capital. And that's why on the really major thing in this course is about raising capital and building credibility. But if you are trying to do this in Canada, if you're trying to do it and you're trying to raise capital, and it's going to be hard in Canada market because you don't necessarily have the good market to be able to sustain that. So it's not necessarily going to work for all Canadian market, but I'm going to show you that it works for me. So it works for some of the people that I know, and in terms of raising capital, it works for my mentee. So I'm showing you one of my mentees actually raised capital. Is that's a video that later on that he himself speaking of that when he going through the training. So he is able to raise capital. So I guess it ultimately is I want to really say that it's not for everyone. It's for people who are willing to work, and it's not overnight scheme. But I think people know that, if you're looking for overnight scheme, you over like get rich scheme, this is not something that I tell my students. This is not something I tell my groups. So hi to everyone on Facebook Live. By the way, please jump into Zoom call if you have the link. So why I'm doing this, because I feel like a lot of Canadians is going through on the same mission that I am. I want to get into US investing. A lot of guys has been doing it, and why not me? So I started this journey, as I said, and I slowly expanding my group, and I feel like more and more people are looking at US right now, because they're looking at prices in Canada is like really ridiculous, right? You look at prices in Canada is really ridiculous in the sense that you can't really able to cash flow and hope that Canadian market will keep going up. And that's why we're looking at US. And this is the basis of me, why, and my group, why we're creating this, what I call the MMM or multifamily mission is, I think you can make cash flow investment. And I know, because I've been doing it for the last number of years, since 2012 in US. And I know you can invest with passive investors. So I'm gonna basically, the topic of this Zoom call is about what's the biggest obstacle. So I laid it all out. Maybe you think that you don't have capital. Maybe you think you have to have enough capital, or maybe you think you don't have time, maybe you don't have the ability. Maybe you don't trust yourself. Maybe you think it's good how and your guys and your student can do it. Maybe I just don't have the tools, right? Or you just fear. Fear of self is big. Like I wrote a couple posts before actually coming to meet you guys this morning. It's the fear of self is huge, and it's real. In the sense that it's always right here telling you that, can you do that? I'm always smiling, because when I say that to myself, sometimes it's not that people who have done it, who have been doing it, still doing it, don't have the fear. By the way, when I smile, sometimes you probably catch it. Next time, catch it, because it's sometimes some sort of self-talk that I'm telling myself involuntarily, long time ago when I was really young. Some programming that I don't really want, but I'm smiling is way to be. In NLP we call it pivoting. We change it in our mind is like in a split second. Some people like do this. I think Tony Robbins do this, or like Tony Robbins like changing mentality or changing internal physiology to basically change the internal dialogue. So people done that. But again, you really have to have a deep down conversation with yourself. I'm talking about investor yourself. Do you really want to do something that is faithful, but you're going to do it anyway? Because many people have done it. It's very stupid that Brian Tracy, my mentor. I wrote a book with him. My mentor tell me about it. He told me nothing feels dumber when the dumber guy, we all know, not to be judgmental, but we all know intelligence here. When the dumber guy that you think the dumber guy is more richer than you. I'm gonna say that again. Nothing is more dumber or feel more stupid than you think that guy is dumber than you but is richer than you. So I don't necessarily agree with that, but I find it's really funny because I understand what he's saying, because many times, long time ago, I remember when I was an engineer, I feel the same. I feel like I do really well in school, and I'm able to get this professional jobs and whatnot, and many times I feel like the same. How come that guy is so much? I think I think I'm pretty intelligent, but why he's richer than me? So why I say that? Because I feel like that investing in Canada is the same. Investing in Canada is looking at all these U.S. partners. They are investing in U.S. cash flowing tons, and we, in the meantime, we have all this doubt as a Canadian investors, or maybe as a U.S. investor. I don't know. If as Canadian investors, last time on Saturday, one investor asked me about the currency risk. Another investor asked me about the market risk, and a couple other guys asked me about how do you build a local team, whatnot. Let me say that again. People like me and other people who have done that. So this is possible. So whether you think it's possible or not is really in your mind. But again, I'm going to tell you some story that hopefully I'm going to help you, because the fear of going to the other market and find properties, building team, raising capital, building credibility, even speaking online with all you guys is fearful, by the way. But at the end of the day, I want to give you the kind of the bridge. It's basically telling you that, it is possible because someone is doing it right now. So this is my next step to invest. So basically, I'm launching my online platform. Basically, you guys can learn about how to invest at home. It's an online software that right now I'm getting three guys to beta testing it. I'm getting feedback from those guys. Once is launched, I'll share with you guys. You don't have to. You can do it at 3 a.m. at night, even free at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. So you don't have to. There's videos, there's like spreadsheets and the cheat sheets. That's basically once you sign in, once you register and you sign up for that, and boom, there you go. So it's the 8 steps of how do you find the market, manage your team, evaluate your deal, spreadsheets, notes, scripts is on there. But today, so we have a small groups today online. But I want you to really make a note, as in, who think, you don't have to tell me, you don't tell me, but, make a mental note to yourself. If you think one of those things is hindering you, you're thinking, tell me if, Howard, this is one of my fear. Maybe it's money. Money is a big thing. Money is a big thing. Maybe you're telling yourself, I don't have the capital. Maybe you're telling yourself, I don't have time, ability. I just don't know how to do it. No one's sharing with me. No one to tell me about how to do it. And the fear yourself, maybe it's all of the above. I tell you the truth is when I'm starting doing it years ago, for myself, it's all the above. Are you guys able to see the screens while I'm sharing with you guys? No problem? And hear me okay? I should have checked it.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thanks, Gustav. So make a mental note. Whoever been in your shoes, and I'm putting myself in your shoes as a new investors who have limited access of money, have limited access for time. I have my day job. So how can I do that, right? I'm putting myself in your shoes. I'm putting myself in your thinking, Howard, I'm my day job, I'm a family. What do you expect? Me to be able to do this? This is pretty daunting step, going to the market, and you tell me number of times, in number of months, and do you have the time to do it? And ability and fear. So I'm gonna tackle each one of them, and you think about that, whether this is actually making sense for you. Number one is huge. Like, everyone's, by the way, if you don't think, if you think money is the biggest problem of why it is in between you and buying the big ass building in between of you, it is. But by the way, I can agree with you. That is a really big fear. You know, it is real that, you know, if you're not seeing so many zero at the bank account, it is, you can feel that, you know, how I'm going to actually put an LI. I remember the other times on Saturday, I have my meetups, and literally I can see many guys is like the eyes just pop. It's like, you know, when I tell them that, you know, you have to put an LI, then I know, because I was in the shoes as well. You know, the first thing that in the mind is like saying is, oh, I don't have the capital. So how the hell do I able to put an LOI? So, you're saying literally, if I don't have the capital, you know, and it's real, you know, you're basically telling this yourself, and this is your physiology. It's like you're telling yourself, you know, I don't have the capital. How do I literally put in LI? You need to put a deposit. You need to basically in 67 days, 60 days or 90 days, you need to put in your down payment. And I haven't even started raising capital yet. So, you know, and some of you guys may be thinking, you know what, I don't even have the money to actually learn about the system. So let me share with you the next slides, if I can get this right. So capital can help you, but it's not the capital that makes you rich. It's the know-how, it's a system that get me to invest in my first, I'm talking about myself, this is my story, to build over 1.3 million equity in 18 months. And now looking back, you know, all the investment, it makes sense. And another story, this is not my own story. This is my mentee story. So this is not even myself, Howard Lau. This is my guy that I trained with him in 2018. And he was just like me at the beginning, isn't it? So we all have the thing is called, I can't afford it. I don't have the capital. So you tell me that I need to buy this multi-family building. You know, this is all good dream, right? And you tell me I need to raise the capital. So you're telling me that I can do it. I know that's what you're thinking. So for him, it's the same. He said, you know, he doesn't have capital. And by the way, the video that I recorded from him is I got his approval because, you know, he trained me, and, you know, he's nice enough to share his testimonial. But he see the result and he overcome it. So this is my first student, by the way. His name is Sergey. Some of you guys may have seen it already. He raised $100,000 from his family friends. Let's see if I can play that video.
Howard Lau in April 2018, and my experience of working together with Howard has been incredible. He is a great, experienced mentor, coach, an expert in the real estate investment field and in other business related areas as well. So he has helped me, and he has taught me many different things about investments and networking and like all business related questions that I had at the time. He has helped me to find the answers to them. And one of the things that Howard is great at, he is great at helping you to find the financial sources of the, like, for your investments. Because when I came to Howard, like, there was no way in my mind that I can find money for my investments, because I just wasn't able to see the sources of income for financing my opportunities. And Howard has helped me to find the financial sources for my investments for the amount of more than 100,000 Canadian dollars. Like from zero to more than 100,000 of Canadian dollars for my investments.
So, so this is Sergey. I'm going to end it because it's a pretty long ass video. So long story short is, so by the way, first of all, he give way more credit than I deserve. I can tell you, because I didn't tell him anything else other than doing real estate and raising capital. And so, but this, of course, it is testimonial video. So he did it really well for me, and I appreciate that. So I help him, long story short is I help him to unlock his network and to find the capital he needs. And funny thing is, this is a true story. He didn't even do anything about real estate, and he used the capital to do other things, which is fantastic, on something related to stock market. But long story short is, so the fear of thinking that you don't have the money is so fake that at the time, you know, it is so big, you know, just like me when I was like doing this years ago. I think I don't have access to capital, and I think the money is the biggest fear, biggest obstacle, and of my game. And the truth is the fear of not having capital. Is the truth, is the fear of when I was young. I have this programming from the environment that in the mind, and maybe it's in your mind as well. And you have to really dig deep down to understand whether that is true for you. But it was for me in my case, and that's why I know it is, you know, the fear of not having enough capital, you know, because like, you know, you deep down, you have to answer questions. All the people who buy the big building that you can see on the street, including me and other people, they're not using their own capital, guys. I'm gonna say that out again to you, and you can decide whether you're gonna take it or not. All the people who have the capital, access to capital anyway, to buy the big buildings and the big office building, towers, apartment towers, they most of the time they're not using their own capital. I know that from the first-hand experience, and they do it through partnerships. You know, they through the partnerships, they through training them enough so that they can reach the level. They through that paying the price. But long story short, this guy is a real life story. If you're saying that, you know, you cannot do this, I'm gonna put it bogus, because you know Sergey is a Russian Canadian that he immigrated from Russians like 5 years ago, and from Sochi, the Olympic city. And I met him through a Tony Robbins event on the first row seat on the Tony Robbins event in 2017 December. And we get to know each other, and we develop the relationships. So that's how I know him. And if I wasn't meeting him, if I wasn't learning that, you know, that I have also the ability to tell other people to help them to raise capital, I wouldn't be knowing, because, you know, this is my first mentee. I say that, and this is my first student. But money is a myth. Okay, let me see if I can, next slides. So next big thing, you're thinking that I don't have the time, right? You know, oh, Howard, I don't have the time, you know, does it sound familiar? I don't have the time. And you're thinking, you know, I'm already doing full-time job. My friends, they you know, all my coworker, they are working so much time, and, you know, they got laid off, and, you know, now it's just me on the jobs. I'm working 5 times as work as hard, but I'm not having enough time. You know, I'm gonna spread it right for you. Anyone who have on this journey, it's called raising capital or building your business.
I'm here.
It's not a great way, by the way, guys. You really have to
know how your thing's set up. Like
you
have no icons at the bottom.
You really have to
if you do on here, that's your speakers. Right here.
Let me do this situations. There you go. So time was a myth, by the way. One of my partners have this myth that actually I was talking to my mentee and another mentee, and he's telling me, let's just call him Mr. K. He's telling me that he doesn't have enough time. And long story short, He was working so long hours, and that he cannot craft enough time for his real estate business. And I tell Mr. K, so you have to set a line. You have to set a line, because the work will always be including to your time of your building your business. So, but long and short is, if you think time is stopping you to achieving your dream, is a myth. And you know what? But it's true that you're gonna need, you're not gonna spend an hour a day to get to the result that you need. And I can tell you that you're gonna spend years and long time to build something that's way bigger. If you want to build long, big ass buildings in Office Tower in Calgary, you have to work a decent amount of times, because you're building a way bigger dream for yourself, for your family, and for your community. And it's gonna take time. And you have to really dig deep into knowing your why. Maybe you need to take care of your family, to take care of your parents. Maybe you're like me, that you need to take care of your family and your parents. And maybe your next generation is, your next generation is much bigger why than you. But usually, my experience is, it need to be much bigger than you. Otherwise, you're going to have the excuse, and you're going to find, when you're working, like, I was working till 3 a.m. last night, and you're going to find out that, why I'm doing this. I'm not doing it for myself. I was doing this slides, right, yesterday at 3 a.m. And I know what you're thinking, because, like, if you're thinking of, you just want to buy the big building for yourself, you're going to feel selfish, and you're going to feel the obstacles that, you're doing it for yourself. So you need to dig deep for yourself. You have to investigate, what is your why? And the next one is really just, playing, all right, can I do this? I never do this. I never do this. Some of you wondering, can you do this? And this is 100%, let me say it again, 100% valid concern. Because what you really want to know is, can I really do this step-by-step system? Have thousands and thousands of people, Canadians, have been doing this. If Sergey is doing it, if Howard is doing it, if other people is doing it, can you do it? Am I be able to actually finally be able to buy multifamily? You're asking yourself. This is a question for you, for yourself to answer yourself, by the way. Well, I believe you can, because 1,000 people have gone through this system, creating deal flow, creating a market. I was witnessing Mr. K, like same man to you. I was doing a training with him yesterday. I was replying his email at 9 a.m. yesterday. He's doing it. He is doing the same system that I were able to use the same system years ago, buy multifamily in US. And if other Canadian can do this, and I guess it's not so much of whether you think you can do it, it's whether you open up your mind to see this, he can do it, Howard can do it, Sergey can do it, Mr. K can do it. Can you do it, right? This is the question that you have to answer for yourself.
Howard, we lost your slides.
Oh, sorry. Let me, thank you. Thank you, Scott. Let me see. Let's do this again. Oh. I think, thank you, Scott. I think I lost that when I was doing something, muting some of you guys. But anyway, so you see that okay now, Scott?
Yep, got it.
Okay, thank you. So let's go right back in. Let's talk about fear. Who think you guys are fearless? Who think you guys are fearless? I like to think that I'm fearless, but the thing is, like, every Dale, you think you're fearless? I don't know. Like, everyone have fear. Sarah Blakely, by the way, this is totally not on the slides, but lately, I confess, I've been watching a lot of videos. I've been watching videos on masterclass. By the way, guys, if you haven't signed up, find the partners to sign it up. I learned a lot, but long and short, as my buddy, we joined masterclass, not supposed to put any ads because I'm not getting any revenue stream for that, but you know what, who cares, because it's good stuff. You guys should join it, $120 a year for like, Canadians, and US probably $100. But long and short, I was watching this fearless fearless lady, and she said it really right. And she said, like, you know, people ask her, Sarah Blakely, the co-founder, the founder of Spanx, you know, the white stuff that under your pants. So long and short, she said this, you know, everyone's saying that, why are you so fearless? You know, why are you so fearless? And she said that, you know what, it's not that I'm fearless. If that's, it's because I am courageous, you know, and probably doesn't do any justice when we are recording her. But you know what, she said it really nicely, really nice. Go watch her video. But she said that she's courageous, and she's the first ever, I think 2012, she's the first ever female billionaire in US, and she created from something like crazy story, $5,000, and 20 years ago, no marketing, patent her you know, her undergarments, and that's her business. But I want to use that. That's why I want to say that to you guys. Fear is always there. It's not that you're fearless, that's why you don't do it. It's that you have fear and you still want to do it, and that's where the courageous part comes. You are courageous because you see the fear and you do it anyway. And I have two stories, personal story. And I do this when I was like, everyone's looking at me, you know, 2012, you know, this is crazy. Why you go into the fucking US and invest in US? You know what? I was like, I was so fearful, by the way, guys. I was so fearful. And let me read the slide. Because you know what fearful is, means that you don't want to look stupid. Like if people telling you, you know, oh yeah, you're following this Howard Lau guys, you know, yeah, he can do it. Yeah, can you do it? You know, yeah, of course he's doing it. It's like, he's putting a lot of big marketing budget, you know, talking to all this US guy, big ticket money, and you know, his building may not even be right. I know that's what you're thinking. You can fly to my market and actually touch my buildings. And you know what? It's not even matter. It's not even the discussion. What I'm saying to you is 2012, I was 32 years old. And I remember at that time, all the guys who was doing investing in US in my age, they are like they were in my father or grandfather ages. They were 70, 80 years old. So basically those are all snowbird, have capital, and they from a Canadian perspective. But I'm looking at, you know, I'm looking at all my friends like, how can I do this? All my friends, they're not doing it. But you know what? Me, Mandy, and I have actually a print screen showing the contract that we signed. So you know that it's true. And the price that we pay. So we basically, you know, screw it. You know, we look at different market. We look at Atlanta at that time, 2012. And we look at Florida, and we look at Arizona, and you know what? Arizona is pretty good. It's really hot. But anyway, we booked a ticket on the weekend. We don't know any system. We don't know any contact. We fly to Arizona. It was freaking hot. We can't even stay outside on the street. It was that hot. But anyway, so we booked ticket, and we find a broker that we make online contact through a Calgary contact. Her name is Wendy. And we basically on the weekend we booked 2 nights hotel at somewhere in Phoenix, and the good part of the west part of town is Goodyear. If you go look at the Goodyear, is actually on the west part of Arizona. The not so wealthy part, like because Scottsdale is actually right at the center of Phoenix. But so we see 5 properties, boom, 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 and we put on 3 offers, boom, boom, boom. And at the end, we got 1 accepted. So I was so fearful. I have no system, with no contacts. I thought I have no contacts. By the way, I already have a team. By going in there, someone invests her time. The local agent is called Shannon, and she's still doing that same thing, single families, and cash flowing 15% every year for the 2 years that we hold. And so this is the building. So anyone who don't see the slide, you have to see it because there's actual pictures. This is the properties. We bought it at 2012 at 132. You see the price there. I showed it on you guys. And we put in down payments, 39 for 40K. And in 2 years, we make double the money. So if we didn't sell, so this is the building. I intentionally put it on a Trulier yesterday. Someone is joined the group. So I put it on Trulier yesterday. I want to see what's the price. Okay, Let's see if I can do this. So it was 243 yesterday, estimated, or 210. So the long and short is, when people is telling you that the market is going down, or when you it's not actually them, by the way, it's you decided to listen to them. Okay, let me say that again. You decided to listen to them because you know what, all the people who say that I was crazy, I don't know where they are. And it's not to be disrespectful. I actually have a guy years later, I actually have a guy coming to me and they say, Howard, let's call him Mr. M, I don't want to call names, but it's a real person. Come to my meetup, come to my seminars, and later on he say that, Howard, I wish I do that because I do exactly the same. I research and research and research, and I create the team and create the team and create the team. I have the capital. 40K was basically, really embarrassing. Was probably like big chunk of what I have at that moment. 2012, I was really young, 32 years old. Long story short, he didn't do it. And I don't need to be, I don't need to discourage him. I just, I just smile. And you're going to see that in life. Many people is going to like this. Maybe you're 30 years old, maybe you're 20 years old, but I'm going to tell you, guarantee you, many people will go for life seeing opportunity like this, feeling opportunity like the system, the learning, education, the properties, and the real estate in US and whatnot. They will never click. It's like Sarah Blakely said that really true. She said that guarantee you, everyone in our life have multiple. Maybe you're unlucky, you only have one. But anyway, multiple $1 million idea. Guarantee you. She said that. Billionaire, take it from her. Don't take it from me. But long and short is, so I have this, not a billion idea, non-billion, but $40,000 idea turned into multi-millions later on. So bear with me, I need to accept these two guys because for some reason, I'm not able to do that. Let's do this. So, okay, there you go. You guys able to see the slides, okay? I'm sorry. That's 1, 2. So, so this is the home that I purchased in 2012, and I show you the price in 8 years, but I sold it earlier, and of course some of you guys is like, oh, this is so stupid. You can have making 4 times of it, and show you the slides. So I did it. If I did not sell, I would be making about 270, so 2 times, 3 times of the money out of the 40K acquisition cost. But I did not because I was pursuing something bigger. I did not. So because I was pursuing something bigger, I was pursuing multifamily, members, right? And that's the X steps comes. But basically, I was able to basically double the money with the cash flow, $600 a month, with that kind of acquisition price. And I know some of you guys is like, Howard, that of course is really easy. They say that because that was really low the market. So I seen this in 2008, and just like many of you guys, I see it in 2012, and I took action. And I seen it in 2018, and I took action, and see it again in 2020. So it's not that I don't want you, it's that you don't listen. It's not that the Mr. K, that guy, I'm telling him, if I have a chance, I would tell him again, come join the wagon, now's the time. Don't come back, I will close the door. If you come to my meetup group again, I will close the door because, I tell it 2 times already and see me doing it. He actually come to my meetup group later on, or seminar at that time, I don't remember my meetup. And then he just laughed and then he didn't come back again. So the choice is yours. So this is my first story, that I make double the money and cash flow at the meantime. And so I did this, my gosh, I have so much fear. So this is about fear. It's not about the double or triple the money. Those are good, but this is about the fear. I didn't have a coach. I didn't have capital, and I didn't have contacts, and I didn't have mentors, teachers, whatnot. I didn't have all these wealthy partners. You know what? By the way, some of the partners, some of you guys joining the call, they are wealthy partners. They have a lot of capital. I didn't have all those, But I was so fearful that I think those are very, very important, by the way, guys. But I was so fearful that, that I still took the plunge. I think it's important. Took the plunge. And, but I can share with you, this, if you are fear, just like me, in 2008, 2012, 2018, when's the market tip? And now 2020. And I have all this in my mind. And some of this is like, what if I screw up? What if I lose all my money? What if I did something wrong? Exchange rate is like, is always in the mind. It's like exchange rate is not perfect, and I love that's not something that's perfect exchange rate. And I don't have local team. Maybe there's foreign government. Donald Trump is in the US, taxation. You get the thing. All this thing, it didn't help me. It didn't help Mr. K. Didn't help anyone else if they want to pursue the dreams. And because my why, I think now looking back, I know why. Because my why is bigger than my fear. And I pull a punch. And you have to really dig deep down, because today's topic is about tackling your fear, your obstacles. Those four things, money, time, ability, and fear. Those are the four biggest obstacles in all our minds, by the way, guys. What is your why? You have to answer yourself. Is it something that is making you don't have to go through what I want to go through? This is my why. That's why I'm spending hours and hours, by the way, every week, hi Colleen, every Saturday, every Wednesday, I'm going this. This is my why, because I believe if my immigrant mentees have 5 years landed in Canada, can raise capital, if other immigrants who have been doing it, and you know what, and other people who doesn't have a lot of capital can do it, maybe you can. If someone else can use a $5,000 and build $1 billion company by learning all this and going through all these motions, and someone else who could doing it in Canada, build 1,600 units from Winnipeg, maybe if they can do it, maybe it's not necessary that you can. Maybe think about it. Maybe you could as well. The fear is huge, by the way. But this is what I'm going through this over and over and over and over and over and over again, that I want to tell you. Fear is huge, but it's not the fear who control you. It's whether you're going to be courageous and take the plunge. And I do it again. So this is my second story. And where's a multifamily, built over 1.3 million equity in 18 months. This is when I started in 2018. I learned about investing in multifamily in 2016, 15. I will show you how I can do it. So this is my apartment. I show a lot of you guys, 48 units in Dayton, Ohio. And this is what it appraised in 2 years ago. And my acquisition cost is $500K. This is all US fund, by the way, guys, including the previous property. Immediate appraised for 2.1 million. So you can let the fear to control you, or you can take control of your fear and go with it. So this is my investors. I'm gonna click on that. This is my investors. And again, I'm really grateful that she did this video for me, because it's a true person on a real deal. And she say this, if I do that, maybe you can do it too.
Hi, this is Howard with Morning here, and we're just doing this short video, and just want to say thank you and really appreciate for being giving me such an opportunity to invest with you. So I just wanted to hear what you think so far.
So far, I think Howard did a really good job. I can trust him because he always keep me update and communicate with me, and also do what he promised me to do. So
I want to take this opportunity and say thanks again. And without someone like you for the support, we can't do it ourselves. So thank you.
yeah, you're welcome, and nice to join the team.
Thank you. Thank you, Bonnie.
Thank you.
Bye.
So Bonnie has been getting cash flow checks since the first quarter, because we invest in investors, and because that's what we promise, right? You say that, you see, one thing that I'm really proud of myself, and I think all of you guys who want to raise capital, is really, really important. You have to keep your promise. Whatever you say you're an investor, you have to keep your promise. And they are in this with you, and you basically have to treat personally, and know this is personal philosophy, but for myself, I do think treating the capital more important than my own capital is something that's really easy to say. And I learned it along the way. And that's the only way to be thriving in business, to be honest. If you don't treat your investor capital with dear heart and really work for them, and it's going to be, I encourage you to think about again if you're not there, because this is handling other people's capital is really honorable job. But anyway, this is Bonnie. So here I am. So I don't talk about how X steps, because I talk about X steps, how to invest in multifamily enough, and you know, finding deals. It's not about the knowledge, guys. If you're not doing this, if you're not doing the necessary steps, calling brokers, underwriting, getting the necessary help, seeing your deals, and flying to the brokers, flying to the US, and inspecting, looking at deals, raising capital, it's because one of those four things. And spell out for you is your fear. It's the fear of that you don't have enough capital. It's the fear that you haven't invested enough on your time, on your most important resources is your time, knowledges, to get to the know, to do know how, because you can, I absolutely guarantee you cannot handle other people's capital by not knowing the system. It is absolutely not, I absolutely would not encourage you guys to do it, because it is crazy. And the ability, if you invest in yourself and you invest in the time and the resource and the system, and really it's the money, capital, time, ability, and fear. So this is my online training. So you want to copy my result. I think it's stupid if you don't, because I already set up all in front of you guys. I have boot camps that I'm setting up on next Saturday. So come join me, click here, or ask me, send me a text later on. But I quote a lot of billionaires because obviously all you guys know that I love following billionaires. But who knows who is Warren Buffett? Don't even bother raising your hand. Everyone's know him. But this is by the way his website, and I used this website to train my daughter, 5-year-old, and Warren Buffett have something called really big company, his Berkshire company, but he has a website called Multi-Millionaires Club, and in one of the video, and always end like this, and I'm gonna click and you guys enjoy.
The best investment you can make is an investment in yourself. The more you learn, the more you'll earn. The best investment you can make is an investment in yourself.
So that's it. So join my free meetup groups and join my sign up for my underwriting bootcamp if you want to learn how to raise capital, how to underwrite properties, and yeah. So those are the guys. Come to my last bootcamp. Come to my last bootcamp on October last year. Thank you, and leave it to you guys. If you have questions, this time is to ask me. I see a lot of guys that I know join me today. Feel free to unmute your mic and ask me questions. If you don't have questions, we're gonna call it. That's it. Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed the time that shared with all you guys today, and talk about your fear. Feel free to share with me your fear, and take actions, and don't let fear control you. Okay.
Thanks a lot, Howard.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you,
Howard.
Thank you, guys. Peter,
Thanks.
you're online. I know it's you. Let me unmute you. Thanks, Kingsley. Thanks, Peter.
Yeah. Thank you, Howard. It's my first time here.
Oh yeah, Kingsley.
Yeah.
Welcome. Yeah, hope you enjoyed. I certainly enjoyed myself.
Yeah,
Let me have your questions, but keep coming for sign up for the meetup group, guys.
all right. Thank you.
Thanks, Kingsley. Okay.
Yeah.
Bye. So here we are on this Zoom call, and so I hope I try my best to tackle your fear. I try my best to tackle your fear that is not even real, the time, the money, and the big thing is money. And hi, Bill. So I hope I tackle your biggest fear: time, money, ability, and just fear yourself. You are not going to be figured out all this. Just like my guys who joined me, and I help him to raise 100,000 capital, and from family and friends. But it's really ultimately you have to understand all this kind of fear, all this kind of like self-talk is not real. It's not real. And you have the ability, and I believe that people like me, people like others who are able to do that, invest in the US as Canadians, and figure out the system, figure out the tax, figure out legal, figure out the exchange rate. I'm sure you can do as well. And I'm gonna see if I can bring you on camera. So thank you. And hi, Bill. How are you doing?